could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Leading off game 2 for the Tigers, number 2, Joe G.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for game 2 between ICC and Coahoma. If you're just now joining us, the Indians picked up a 12-1 win in 5 innings after an 11-run 4th inning. It'll be Joe G to lead things off here. Our Renaissance Bank opening pitch from Austin King across for a strike. It comes at 5:02. As a 5:02 opening pitch brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. RenaissanceBank.com. This pitch popped up out to center field. Center fielder having to hurry. And Noah's going to drop for a base hit. And that's going to go for a double. Great effort out there in left and center field by Lancaster and Sedale. Amazing that neither one of them really ran into each other. So G will start things off
now
with a
left
double.
Fielder, number 4, Zach Gilder.
Well, we got the lineup late from the Indians, so we're going to try to give you the starting lineups in between innings here. So a leadoff double there. And a good answer back by Coahoma to start the inning. Ground ball, foul ball, strike 1. As King's curveball, it's a beauty. Wow, guess it missed a little too inside for the umpire's liking. That's called a ball. Going through, trying to get everything kind of situated here to get out our notifications for game 2. This pitch jammed but fouled out of play. 1-2 now goes the count. A game we're keeping an eye on, that's going to be Jones County and Gulf Coast in baseball. And after 7 innings of play in game 1, it's Jones 1, Gulf Coast 1. So that's a game there. It's Gulf Coast now a game behind the Indians. Little check swing pop up. Trouble. And it's going to drop for a base hit. Saw about 2 or 3 of those from Coahoma in the first game where they got just enough of it to put them where we ain't. And that was the case there. The runner from second unable to advance. With it being a pop fly, did not know if it was going to be called or not. So he will stay at second. And now up will be Edgston. Some of the games going on in the league, Pearl River and Hines facing off. As we already mentioned, Jones and Gulf Coast, Meridian and East Mississippi, Delta and Northwest, Northeast and Holmes, and East Central and Colin as that pitch across for a strike. Southwest is out of conference play. I believe they're playing either Baton Rouge or Delgado out of Louisiana. So runners on first and second with no outs here, top of the first. Scoreless contest, and this is Edgston at the plate. Delay swing, throw down, and the tag, no, not in time. 0-2 is the count, just beat the throw home. Hunter Neighbors threw out 3 runners in the first game of the day, something that is unheard of for a catcher. So runners on first and second, 0-2 is the count here to Edgston. And that pitch fouled off and will stay at 0-2. Like it was kind of fouled back off the leg of Neighbors. So the home plate umpire is going to walk out and kind of give Neighbors a chance to collect himself behind the plate. The reason why they make protective gear the way they make it. And Hunter Neighbors very proud that they do that. The home plate umpire going to brush off the plate and give Neighbors just a few more seconds to collect himself. 0-2 is the count. No outs. Runners on first and second. Austin King on the hill here for the Indians to start game 2. Fastball outside corner misses for a ball. 1-2 is the count. Not a bad spot to miss that time by King. See if you couldn't get him to chase one out of the zone. Good eye, though, however, by Edgerton to hold off on that one and take it for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. Try to get a strike him out, throw him out, but the batter kind of in the way that time.
Now batting the
throw
catcher,
down was not in
13,
time. Good job, though,
Alexis
over there
Rodriguez.
at second base to catch it and keep it from going to the outfield. And now up is going to be Alexis Rodriguez, the number 4 batter. He's catching here in game 2. So with one out, runners on first and second, Rodriguez will dig in. Pitch in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Neighbors. 1-0 is the count. When we talk about the play of Neighbors, another thing that's been impressive for Hunter this year is he's caught just about every game this year. That's a lot of time behind the plate. Fastball, fouled back. And 1-1 now is the count. One ball, one strike, one out. Runners on first and second here for Coahoma. We're in the top of the first in game 2. Swung on and missed. Ball gets away in the dirt. Runners are going to go, and they'll be able to advance safely on the wild pitch. Good job that time by Neighbors just to get his body out in front of that one, but the curveball breaking away from the catcher couldn't keep it inside the area, so they were able to move ahead into scoring position. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Take a look at that Renaissance Bank strikeout there. The second of the game.
Now batting the third baseman, number 18,
for
Colton Norris.
Austin King. And now up is going to be Norris, the third baseman for the Tigers. First pitch missing low for a ball. So 1-0 is the count here. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. So the Indians trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. See if they can escape a little bit of a jam here. Back-to-back strikeout so far. 2-0 is the count. That one gets away and the run's going to score. Excuse me, I started the instant replay there, so I apologize. Not really sure why that one did, and actually 2 runs will score as the ball gets away into the dugout, and Coach Collier's going to come out, and I don't know if he's going to talk to the catcher here. Actually, they're going to maybe send in the runner back to third, and that's going to be the case. So take a run off the board as they were trying to sneak the run across, but Coach Collier came out, and before he even had to say anything, the infield umpire was actually already coming out to say go back to third. The home plate umpire looked at him. They both agreed. And so Gilder will head back to third. And there's ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued to Norris. And that's going to bring up the DH, Johnson, here with 2 outs and runners on the corners.
Now batting for the Tigers.
For the
number
Tigers.
12, Kyler Johnson.
And so King is running a little bit of trouble here. Can't find the exit here in the top of the first. Of course, game 2 scheduled for 7 innings here. Winning the 0-0 pitch. Curveball is a beauty. Clips the corner of the paint for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. Trying to fill out my lineup card here for the Indians. As we said, we didn't get that lineup until late. Pickoff move over to first. Ball gets away, and that's going to allow another run to score. So the run does score. So, and that's going to be an error on the play as the throw was in the dirt. And now it's 2-0 Coahoma here in the top of the first. And that pitch across for a strike. 0-2 now is the count here to Johnson. So a rocky start here for the Indians, but that's what Coahoma needed to do to try to get back in this game after being dominated 12-1 in the first game of the day. Good job that time by Johnson just to reach out, find a piece of it, and keep that bat alive here. 0-2 stays the count. So the Indians win the first game of the day by the final score of 12-1 in 5 innings after a 4-run bottom, or excuse me, an 11-run bottom of the fourth. Curveball hung it well ahead of that one in a break there, as that one was hit a country mile but foul, and we'll stay at 0-2. Once again, kind of just a lackluster atmosphere here at the ballpark. Cloudy day, but still a nice day out for baseball. 0-2 pitch coming. Fouled off. They're actually going to say catcher interference on the play. And that's going to give the runner the bag.
Now batting the shortstop, number 11, Deontay Reeves.
So just a weird start to the contest here. Now up is going to be Reeves, the shortstop. So the Indians got back-to-back strikeouts, and then it's just kind of been all downhill from there. That fastball across for a strike. We'll give you today's starting lineups in between innings. It's that first pitch across for a strike. Second one missing low for a ball. As we talked about Austin King, let's take a look at some Sonic stats on him. 5-1 on the year. He has a 2.39 ERA. And nice job on that low fastball. Kind of just jammed up Reeves that time, and now the count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second here. And Reeves gets the strikeout. Or excuse me, that is King gets the strikeout to end the inning. That was Reeves, the strikeout victim, the third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. But Coahoma able to push across 2 in the top of the first. We'll take a break and come back with more, as I got to figure out my lineup card here. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Hey Mississippi, let's fill the gap. Did you know Mississippi's community and junior colleges fill the gap between high school and skilled careers? Or that community and junior colleges are also a great value to students? It's true. Not only can they get degrees in these fields, they can actually afford the tuition to get them there. And did you realize that 96% of the state's community and junior college students are Mississippians? Not only that, they tend to stay in the state when they're done with college. And the more students that do so, the more skilled workers we'll have to fill the gap for jobs. And the more people to fill the job gaps, the more money stays in the state. Plus, the value of community and junior colleges in Mississippi is unbeatable. For every dollar the state puts into community and junior colleges, it gets $4.86 back, an almost 5-to-1 return on investment. So, come on, Mississippi. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges. And let's fill the gap.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to start the bottom of the first inning. 2-0, Coahoma with the lead here in Game 2. It'll be the 1-2-3 batters here to start the bottom of the first. Kyle Krieger, Jackson Lancaster, and Hunter Neighbors all up. We'll give you the lineup here for the Indians. Leading things off, obviously, Krieger playing second base, Lancaster playing in center field, and Neighbors is behind the plate. Those are who's due up here. LeBryant Sedale playing in left field. Justin Medlin is over at first base. Curveball hanging up high for a ball. Drew Thomas is the DH. He'll be batting 6th. Hayden Palmer batting 7th, playing third base. In right field is Drake Wallace. He'll be batting 8th. And Connor Lewis will be batting 9th, playing shortstop. A little slow roller on the infield. And it's going to be a infield single for Krieger. Would have been a tough play on that slow roller there. So now up is going to be Jackson Lancaster.
Jackson Lancaster.
Is Rafael De Leon is the pitcher here for Coahoma in Game 2. He's 5-3 on the year. He's got a 5.26 ERA. So the Indians trying to find a way to answer back after 2 runs in the top half of the inning. Snap throw over, not in time. Indians win Game 1 12-1 in 5 innings. Softball defeated Coahoma in Game 1 6-1. They are up 4-1 in the middle of the 4th. Let me see if that changes any. Snap throw over, not in time. He's safe. And now the infield umpire wants to come talk to the pitcher here. Don't know if he's kind of just addressing the rubber here. After 4 complete in softball, ICC is up 4-1 over Coahoma. That's over on the blue channel. If you'd like to switch over and check that one out for a minute, Rafael Henry on the call there. Sophomore day at the ballpark for the Indians. Number 4 in the country. Baseball fell out of the rankings this week. They were 19 last week. So that pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. They reached as high as number 2 on the year. Ran into a buzzsaw in Pearl River, who, by the way, should have been a top 10 team when we played them. I don't believe they were ranked at the time. And that pitch missing outside. 2-0 now is the count here to Jackson Lancaster, the center fielder. And baseball will be back in action. That'll be on Saturday, sophomore day here for baseball. It'll be available on the red channel. Snap throw over to first, not in time. Softball will be back in action on Saturday. A chance to wrap up the regular season championship with a pair of wins over Meridian. That is, if they can hang on and win Game 2 against Coahoma. That pitch outside for a ball. 3-0 now is the count here on Jackson Lancaster. 3 balls, no strikes, no outs, and a runner over at first. That's Krieger, who reached on an infield single. That pitch right now, Broadway. 3-1 now goes the count here on Jackson Lancaster. Lights are on, but the sun's starting to peek out as the clouds are breaking up here in Fulton. Not really much chance of rain today, but it sure looked promising. And there's ball 4. So Lancaster will head down to first, and now the Indians with runners on first and second and no outs, and here comes Hunter Neighbors.
Now batting the catcher.
So De Leon is struggling to find the strike zone here early on in the contest. Indians trailing 2-0 here. We're in the bottom of the first. Game 2 scheduled for 7 innings. So Hunter Neighbors at the plate. He's going to show bunt, pulls back, and takes it for a ball. De Leon still struggling to get over top of that curveball. You see him there trying to, I guess the motion you could say is if you turn on the light, maybe a lamp, you see him pull the string. It's kind of how you have to finish through on a curveball. Just not able to pull the string so far on any of those. So 1-0 is the count here to Neighbors. Runners on first and second with no outs. Neighbors swings on this one, inside pitch, fouled off. 1-1 now is the count here to Hunter Neighbors, the catcher, here in Game 2. He also caught the first game of the day. Indians looking to get some runs back here in the bottom of the first after Coahoma played it a pair. Curveball, and ooh, it looked pretty, but just up a little too high for a ball. 2-1 now is the count on Neighbors. Looks like Coahoma may be starting to just get some people to kind of start getting loose with De Leon struggling early on. Neighbors pops this one a mile high. Center fielder rushing in, calls everyone off, and will squeeze it for the putout. So 1 out now after Neighbors went and chased one that time. And that's going to bring up LeBryant Siddell.
Batting the left fielder, number 18, LeBryant Siddell.
So LeBryant Siddell will dig in here with 1 out, runners on first and second. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Game 2 between ICC and CCC. Coahoma, that is. We do want to say a special hello to those that may be watching in support of the Tigers this afternoon on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Sedale swings on the first pitch he sees, pops it back and out of play for strike one. Right now, if you're the Indians, you just gotta test your patience. De Leon is struggling to find the strike zone here, and you don't want to chase any ugly pitches. Sedale, good eye that time as the breaking ball falls off the table a little bit too soon. 1-1 now goes the count. So winning the 1-1 offering here with one out, runners on first and second. Sedale late on that one, fouls it straight back over the ICC Foundation broadcast booth for strike two. And of course, when we talk about the foundation, we do invite you to visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu to find out how you can contribute to Itawamba Community College, whether it be through stipends, scholarships, building funds, and more. That's the ICC Foundation, iccms.edu. 1-2 pitch coming. Sedale pops this one. See you later. Good night. A 3-run home run off the bat of LeBryant Sedale. Have mercy. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay, and Sedale was waiting on that one. Hung it up and looking like Tyreek Reed on that shot as Sedale started jogging before he even got to first base. He knew that one was gone, and the Indians take a 3-2 lead.
Now batting the first baseman, number 11, Justin Medlin.
Sedale seeing the ball well. That is his third home run in the last 4 games. And he now leads the team, I believe, with 5 home runs on the season. India's not a very power hitting team. They're a base hit, extra base hit type hitting team. Is that pitch missing for a ball? 2-0 now is the count. Medlin thought about going on that one, called a strike. 2-1 now is the count here to Justin Medlin, the first baseman. So a good job by the Indians finding the answer here in the bottom part of the inning. They take a 3-2 lead now after that 3-run home run by LeBryant Sedale. That pitch up high. 3-1 now goes the count here to Justin Medlin. Medlin at first base, the DH. Drew Thomas is on deck, and he'll get a bat after that pitch. Oh, wow. Called it a strike. That was nowhere near the strike zone that time. Just a mercy call for De Leon, as now the count goes full. A pitch that was on the outside that broke away from the batter, called strike 2 as it was in the other batter's box. Good night. 3-2 pitch coming. This one fouled off deep into the evening out there in left field over the left field lounge, occupied by 1 this afternoon. Typically the BSU all over that one, but they're all in the concession stand working today. And there's ball 5, but technically ball 4, according to the umpire. So a 1-out walk issued to Justin Medlin, and now what will be Drew Thomas, the DH.
Now batting for the Indians, number 6, Drew Thomas.
So Drew Thomas, who did not play in the first game of the day, will dig in for his first at-bat of the afternoon. Indians up by 1 out and a runner at first. Toss over to first, not in time, as Medlin dives back safely. We talked about Thomas is the DH. Curveball, and this is a beauty, across for a strike. Well, good job that time, just going through his motions and making the proper motions on the curveball, and one of those he did against Sedale, and Sedale was expecting the curveball and took it for a ride. Thomas fouls that one off. 0-2 now is the count here on Drew Thomas. There's one out in the inning. ICC leading it 3-2 here in game 2, trying to get the sweep of Coahoma. Boy, it would be big for the Indians to get a sweep here this afternoon. Of course, they finish on the road, 4 straight road games this season. As there's a curveball, finds the corner, and there's strike 3. Got Thomas looking for the second out of the inning and the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for the Tigers. And now up is going to be Hayden Palmer.
Now batting the third baseman, number 32, Hayden Palmer.
I don't know if Drew realized it was an 0-2 count there, as he really wasn't trying to protect the plate. And after the ball was called a strike, and the umpire really didn't give much of a gusto on the strike 3 call. As that pitch inside for a ball. So 2 outs now and a runner at first. This is the third baseman, Hayden Palmer. Palmer fouls this one straight back, and now the count evens up at 1-1. That's Medlin over at first. He drew a walk after a 3-run home run by LeBryant Siddell. Gives the Indians the 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the first. Curveball, and it's a beauty. Good job by De Leon to kind of settle down now. Starting to fill up the zone a lot more than he was earlier on in this inning. And he has gotten a strikeout, 2 outs in the inning, trying to find the exit here. 1-2 pitch on its way from De Leon with a runner at first and 2 outs. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Good job by De Leon to battle back and get back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts, but not before the Indians are able to retake the lead. They get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break and come back with the top of the second right after this. Let's go ICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to start the top of the second. 3-2 ICC with the lead.
Leading off for the Tigers, number 15, Matthew Newcomb.
As it was a 3-run home run by LeBryant Siddell. That is the difference in the game so far. Still a lot of baseball to be played. That pitch across for a strike out of the hand of Austin King. King gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. One of those running on an error. Or I should say scoring on an error. So that pitch missing low and outside. 1-1 now is the count. Well, I do apologize as I can feel and hear my voice slipping away from me in this one. So I'm going to try to make it through the whole contest here as this pitch flew out to center field. And Lancaster out there in center field pretty much just takes a step back, returns to where he was, squeezes it for out number 1.
Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Hector Torres.
And now we'll go to the number 9 batter, the center fielder, Hector Torres, coming to the plate with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the third. That pitch across for a strike. And that pitch missing low. 1-1 now is the count. Fastball missing low. 2-1 now is the count here to Torres. Check in on softball after 5 complete in game 2. The Indians are still up 4-1 over Coahoma. Trying to get the sweep there. Foul ball. And the count goes 2-2 here on Torres, the number 9 batter. On deck is G, who started the game with a double, advanced on a wild pitch, actually scored on a wild pitch as well. Two-two pitch coming, missing high and inside, 3-2 now is the count. So King is trying to find the zone here. He's got 3 Renaissance Bank strikeouts so far, and that's going to be a walk. So 1-out walk issued to Torres, and now up will be the leadoff batter. This is going to be G.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Joe G.
So G will dig in with 1 out and a runner on first. You know, I might have to yell fire here in a minute just to see if the crowd will react to anything as curveball hangs up high for a ball. Very quiet crowd this afternoon. It's been that way from the opening pitch. So 1-0 is the count with 1 out. Fastball fouled back off the netting for strike 1. 1-1 now goes the count with a runner on first. We're in the top of the second. ICC with a 3-2 lead. It was a wild pitch that scored G and an error that allowed Gilder, who is on deck, to score. And then in the bottom half of the inning, it was LeBryant Sedell with a La Bombe out to left center. A no-doubter that put the Indians up 3-2 after 1 complete. This pitch popped a mile high. Second baseman coming over and will squeeze it for the out for out number 2. Well, that was a tougher play than you would think that time over there at second base for Kyle Krieger, as he was looking back towards the sun.
Zach Gilder.
As the sun peeked out there for a moment, now going to tip back behind some of the clouds. Of course, there is a chance for severe weather later on in the week, so if there is any movement on the baseball game, we'll let you know on Twitter at Let's Go ICC, as well sending information to WTVA, WCBI, and the Daily Journal. Strong swing and a miss that time for Gilder, who singled, advanced on a couple of wild pitches, and scored on an error. 0-1 is the count. Ball in dirt, blocked up beautifully that time by Hunter Neighbors. Runner didn't even think about going that time from first. Of course, that game Saturday will be sophomore day here at the ballpark. It will be available here on the Red Channel for those of you that cannot make the trip here to Fulton. Curveball just confused the heck out of Gilder that time. Swung and missed for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count. One-two pitch coming. Swung on. Did he go? And they're going to say, yes, he did. And that's going to end the inning. A little confusion to the inning there, but that is going to be the 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Austin King to end the inning. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break and head back to the bottom half of the inning. ICC leads it 3-2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount. Choose the account to deposit into. Click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to move now to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be the 8-9-1 batters due up here for the Indians. Drake Wallace, Connor Lewis, and we'll go back in the top of the lineup with Kyle
Batting the right
Krieger.
fielder, number 30, Drake Wallace.
So De Leon is still on the hill here for Coahoma. He was roughed up early, but then settled down nicely to get back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. As that pitch missing on the outside corner to Drake Wallace. Wallace had himself a 2-run home run, part of that 11-run fourth inning for the Indians. Wallace thought about pulling the trigger on that one, clips the corner for a strike, keeps the count now at 1-1. Curveball drifting outside, 2-1 now goes the count here on Wallace. Wallace playing in right field, had a nice diving catch in the first game of the day to go along with that 2-run home run. Wallace fouls this one straight back, and 2-2 now goes the count here on the Amory native. So the 2-2 offering coming from Rafael De Leon. Curveball that hangs up inside. A wicked break on the curveball there. Just could not quite get it to break down quick enough. And now the count goes full here to Drake Wallace. Fastball, Wallace with a flare. If this stays fair, it's trouble, but it's going to drift foul and out of play. So the count will stay 3-2 here on Wallace. So they're going to relay the ball in. Actually, it's going to be got away from the player that was chasing it down out there in right field. So they're going to give the right fielder a little bit of extra time to get reset defensively. 3-2 pitch coming, and it's inside for a ball. So a leadoff walk issued to Drake Wallace, and the Indians got to make them pay for that. Don't really ever want to give off that leadoff walk here. And now up is going to be the number 9 batter,
Now
Connor
batting the
Lewis.
shortstop, number 13, Connor Lewis.
Some of the other games this afternoon get a little bit later start than we were able to get a start with game 1.
Here we go, Connor.
And this is Connor Lewis at the plate. Pickoff move over to first, nowhere near in time. See if we can find some scores for you from some of those game 1s that might have went final. Snap throw over to first, once again not in time. Well, Northeast, they complete the sweep of Holmes this afternoon. They got a 17-6 win in the first game of the day, and they pick up a 3-1 win in game 2, so they improve to 11-9 in conference play. A big sweep there for Northeast. Bunt attempt fouled off. Trying to see if you couldn't sneak in a base hit. The Indians did that 3 times in game 1, had some infield singles off some sacrifice bunt attempts. Just was not played well defensively by the Tigers. One time nobody was covering first base, nobody to throw to. Second time neither the pitcher or the third baseman knew who to go get the ball. And by the time they got it, the runner was at first, and then a second bunt, which was a beautiful bunt down the third baseline. By the time the pitcher came up and got it, he threw it, and the runner beat it out by a half a step for the third straight. It actually was on 3 back-to-back infield singles for the Indians. Bunt pops it up. Catcher's going to go back and squeeze it for the putout. Trying to play a little small ball there. See if they couldn't advance Wallace. A little hit and run action there, and instead Lewis pops up in foul territory for the first out of the inning. So we go back now to the top of the lineup, and this is going to be Kyle Krieger. Krieger singled, scored a run, part of that 3-run home run off the bat of LeBryant Siddell. 3-2 is your score, 1 out, and a runner over at first. That's Drake Wallace, who walked to start the inning. Snap throw over. Wallace really not getting that big of a lead. He's actually able to step back and stand there a minute by the time the ball gets to first base. So De Leon on the hill. This pitch popped up and back out of play for strike 1. Indians 24-9 on the year, 10-7 inside conference play. Coahoma fell to 19-16, 7-10 inside conference play. They're battling for one of those final spots in the playoffs, so they want to try to earn a split this afternoon. In Fulton, the Indians really want to help secure their spot in the playoffs with a sweep of the Tigers. That pitch, a beauty, right down Broadway. 0-2 now is the count here on Kyle Krieger. Jackson Lancaster on deck for the Indians. And then Hunter Neighbors is in the hole. Both of those guys would love to see an at-bat this inning. 0-2 pitch coming. A liner, foul, and out of play. Out towards the parking lot. There's actually somebody in a chair out there between the trees. Did not flinch. I don't know if they saw the ball or not. Brad Boggs ducking out of the way. 0-2 stays the count. Curveball. Grounder to the second baseman. There's one. Can they get two? Yes, they do. Little Caesars double play to end the inning there. A big-time play for 6-3 to end the inning. So an unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning there for the Indians. We've played two. ICC leads it 3-2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
In the inning for
The
the
new
Indians.
extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message.
Surrender to the toppings.
Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those two guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back as we get set now to move to the top of the third inning. ICC with a 3-2 lead here thanks to the swing of the bat of LeBryant Sedale, who hit a 3-run home run back in the bottom of the first inning to answer a 2-run top of the first by the Tigers. They took advantage of a
Leading
wild
off for
pitch
the Tigers, number 3, Marquelis
and
Edgston.
an error to be able to push that one across. So this will be the right fielder, Edgston, to lead things off here. He swings on the first pitch, fouls it back for strike one. Once again, a just weird atmosphere here at the ballpark. Not a lot of people coming out. See a few more students coming out here for game two. Of course, some of them headed back in between games to be able to go to the cafeteria to get supper. Maybe they'll come back out and see us. We talked about final home game scheduled for Saturday, Sophomore Day. If you can't make it, it's scheduled to be on here on the Red Channel. That pitch outside, 2-1 now is the count. Of course, with weather in the area, that game could be moved up, postponed. Who knows? You want to be sure and follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC for any schedule changes. Fastball, and it's ripped. A single out to left field. Good job just sitting back and waiting on that one that time by Edgston. Third hit of the game for the Tigers.
Now batting the catcher, number 13.
And now this will be
Alexis
Rodriguez coming to the plate with no outs and a runner on first. The Indians leading 3-2 here. Has Austin King on the hill. Fastball, oh, nice location. Got one of those, had a little tail back into the batter that time, swung on and missed for strike one. So 0-1 is the count. Pitch on the outside corner, missing low, 1-1 now. Goes the count here to Rodriguez. King just pitching well, just kind of struggling a little bit to keep it in the zone. That pitch, ooh, good looking pitch, caught a ball. Looks like that one's right across the letters, if not a little underneath it. 2-1 now goes the count. Runner at first, no outs. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down is in time. Really shouldn't have switched off of that one. It's a throw, got him by a mile. My goodness. Hunter Neighbors is just dialed in this afternoon. That is the 4th batter he is caught trying to steal. Keep doing that, you can get paid to play baseball one day, kid. 2-2 count in the dirt. 3-2 now goes the count here on Rodriguez with 1 out now. Swipe 3. Swinging and a miss that time for the 5th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game.
Now batting third baseman, number 18, Colton Norris.
And now up will be Colton Norris. Norris walked in his previous at-bat. Try to extend the inning here. This pitch fouled back. Strike 1. Check in on softball across the way. After 6 complete, ICC leading Coahoma 4-1. Trying to go for the sweep there and stay in the chase for the regular season championship. Fastball, and it's ripped, and it's going to be hit out to left field. And they're going to see, yep, he's going to get 2 on an error. So a hit and an error on the play, as Norris able to advance on the error, the 2nd error of the game.
For the Tigers, number 12, Kyler Johnson.
And now this is going to bring up Johnson, the DH. It was catcher interference that allowed him to get on back in the 1st inning, but a strikeout to Reeves, who was on deck into the inning. 2 outs and a runner on 2nd. Pitch way outside. Neighbors just drifts out and holds on to that one for ball 1. Couldn't catch up with the heat that time as Johnson looked to park that one somewhere, swung on and missed. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner at 2nd. That's the tying run for Coahoma. That pitch paints that outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count here on Johnson. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch on its way. Reached down and found that one. Just enough of it to foul it off and keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the tying run is at 2nd. After a single and an error allowed him to get over to 2nd by Norris. Pitch coming. Locked up nicely that time by Neighbors. And 2-2 now goes the count. Said if you couldn't get him to chase one that time, a good eye there by Johnson. Of course, when we talk about good eyes, we got to talk about the Cagle Eye Center here in Fulton. If you would like to schedule a checkup, call them at 862-EYES. That's 862-EYES. Swinging strike 3. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout, the 6th of the game for Austin King, and that gets the Indians out of the jam. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error.
Off of 2 hits and 1 error.
As we'll take a break and come back with the bottom of the 3rd. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
So you took Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest pizza that has the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price and then stuffed more cheese into the crust?
Yep, it's got 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Huh.
They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to their pizza with
Poor
the
guy.
most cheese.
Couldn't wrap his mind around all that cheese.
They added.
Got a large Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest stuffed crust pepperoni pizza for $9.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to go here in the bottom of the third inning. Jackson Lancaster, Hunter Neighbors,
Jackson Lancaster,
and LeBryant Sedale all due up here for the Indians in the bottom of the third inning. It's ICC 3-2 thanks to a 3-run home run by LeBryant Sedale. So Lancaster trying to start things off here for the Indians. Takes a look at that pitch outside for a ball. This is De Leon still on the hill here for the Tigers. He comes into this game with a 5-3 record, 5.26 ERA. There's a flare out to left field. Left fielder's going to be able to get out there in time for the putout of Lancaster. So 1 out now. This is going to be Hunter Neighbors coming to the plate.
The catcher, number 19, Hunter Neighbors.
Remind you that you can keep up with the MACJC and NJCAAA. Is that too many A's? NJCAA. There you go. The state and region tournament going on at Meridian for tennis starting tomorrow. The curveball hangs up high for a ball here in Neighbors. I'm going to try to maybe stream a couple of matches from Meridian, depending on their setup down there, when the Indians and the Lady Indians play in the tournament. As that pitch finds the outside corner, Neighbors kind of looking back at the home plate umpire. A little disbelief on that one, but 1-1 now is the count. Neighbors pops this pitch up, backing out of play for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count. Of course, you can keep up with it if we do not stream any. We'll have updates on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Video highlights at the end of the night. Also recaps available on letsgoicc.com. So 1-2 is the count here. 1 out. Curveball. See you later. Off the scoreboard. Yes. He actually hit it on the 3 spot to add another run to the board. A solo home run. 4-2 Indians take the lead. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. And he actually hit the 3 on the board. So as he hit it, he tacked on the run. The 3 changed to 4. And that is a solo home run there for Neighbors. And the Indians now lead it 4-2. Well, if you can be patient enough and you can wait on one, you can catch a hanging curveball out of the hands of De Leon. That's what Neighbors did that time, as that pitch missing low for a ball. That's also what LeBryant Sedale did in his last at bat, as he hit a 3-run shot out to left center. That last solo home run off the scoreboard, as this is LeBryant Sedale pops this one back and out of play. 1-1 now goes the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third inning. ICC with a 4-2 lead. That pitch gets away. Nobody on base to really do any damage there for the Indians, so they'll just switch the balls out. Justin Medlin will retrieve it and toss it back to the catcher, the home plate umpire. 2-1 now is the count with 1 out. That pitch, just missing a little low for the umpire's liking. 3-1 now is the count. Good looking pitch out of the hands of Rafael De Leon that time, just not getting the graces of the home plate umpire. That one, carbon copy of the last pitch, and it's called a strike. Matter of fact, the catcher, Rodriguez, came up and ready to toss it around, thinking that was strike 3, but now the count goes 3-2. There's a rip, and it's going to bounce past the diving third baseman. This is going to go for extra bases. LeBryant Siddell staying hot at the plate, and he's going to try to go to third. And the throw not in time. Siddell with a triple. As that one just hit and ran, got away from the left fielder. Siddell never checked up the whole way that time. And that's going to be a Legends Sports Grill extra base
Now
hit.
batting the first baseman, number 11.
On that triple there for Brian Siddell. And now up is going to be Justin Medlin. Well, the Indians would love to pick up another insurance run here. Of course, when we talk about those insurance runs, we talk about your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, or life, stop by and see Joey there on South Adams Street in Fulton, the former ICC All-American football player, proud to sponsor ICC Athletics here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, as well as FM 95 Sports. So Medlin, who walked, was left stranded back in the first inning. Pops this one straight back and out of play. 2-1 now. Goes the count here on Justin Medlin. Of course, that one straight over is here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Visit iccms.edu, search for the foundation, and you can find out how you can help Itawamba Community College through financial donations. That pitch missing outside. 3-1 now is the count. Runner at third, that's Siddell, who had a triple. And this one blistered, and that's going to score a run. As that one's going to bounce over the head of the right fielder. And Medlin in with a double. Big time hit there for Justin Medlin. Take a look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay as it pushed across the run. ICC goes up 5-2 now. That one was just rocketed off the bat of Medlin. He gets the RBI and the run scores. And the Indians go up 5-2, and now up is going to be Drew Thomas. So Thomas will dig in here. 1 out and a runner on second. Thomas can't find contact on that first pitch. Fastball inside for strike one. Thomas struck out looking, 1 of 2 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the day for De Leon, who is on the hill here for the Tigers. That pitch missing low for a ball. 5 hits on the game for the Indians. 4 for extra bases, 2 home runs, a triple and a double. 1-1 now is the count with 1 out. Thomas, this has got a chance. Deep fly ball to the warning track, and it's off the glove of the outfielder, and that's going to allow a run to score. An error on the play, but the Indians cash in again. Take a look at this on the Little Caesars instant replay. I think the left fielder was kind of confused on how much room he had left. Once he hit the warning track, it was off his glove, and that allowed the run to score.
Hayden Palmer.
And the Indians take a 6-2 lead now, and this is going to be Hayden Palmer coming to the plate with a runner at second. A 2-base error there allows the run to score. Palmer, the third baseman, takes a look at that pitch. After these for a strike. 0-1 is the count. He struck out swinging to end the first. That was his first at bat of the day. Curveball hangs up. 1-1 now is the count. Well, this is the bats that we've been looking for out of this Indians team. They were in a bit of a slump midway through the season. Now hopefully starting to hit that stride once again as they start to close in towards postseason play. Wow. That pitch inside at the knees, if not below, called a strike. I think the home plate umpire was even jammed up on that one. 1-2 now is the count here on Palmer. Curveball, and it's up high. 2-2 now is the count here on Palmer. Drake Wallace is on deck. He walked, was erased on a Little Caesars double play back in the second. 2-2 count, 1 out and a runner on second. Fastball, pulled it foul. And we'll stay at 2-2 here with Hayden Palmer. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out and a runner on second. Indians up 6-2. Trying to build on that lead here. And there's a curveball nearly hitting Palmer in the head. So now the count goes 3-2. So waiting the 3-2 pitch here with 1 out and a runner on second. And wow. Wow. A pitch low and outside called strike 3. A little bit of a gift there for De Leon as Palmer goes down looking.
Number 30, Drake Wallace.
Second time he has struck out today, third strikeout of the game, and now up is going to be Drake Wallace. Well, De Leon has struggled to find the zone, and the umpire decided to call that one a strike. Drake Wallace, who walked in his first at-bat, stands in, swings with the first pitch he sees, and the Indians, man, these balls must be looking like beach balls coming to the plate right now because they are just laying back and taking some healthy chops at some of these pitches. That first pitch fouled off for strike 1. 2 outs and a runner on second. ICC up 6-2. Curveball, wow, wicked break back inside, just up high. Above the lettering that time. De Leon looked a little upset that that one wasn't necessarily called a strike. 1-1 now is the count with 2 outs and a runner on second. Fastball just nicked it. Did Wallace. And the count goes 1-2. Trying to see if softball has went final yet across campus. It was after 6 complete in game 2, and that was about 18 minutes ago. So I figure that one, may be final. Or Coahoma could have rallied. We shall see in a few moments. There's a shot out to center field. Center fielder's going to have to hurry. Second baseman can't get to it, and that's going to drop and score a run. Nice base hit there by Drake Wallace. And the Indians go up 7-2. Well, Wallace did a good job of battling, and finding a way to win that battle there. And pushes across the fourth part of the inning.
Number 13, Connor Lewis.
And that's going to bring up Connor Lewis. Lewis, on a bunt attempt, popped it foul and was squeezed out by the catcher, Rodriguez. That was for the second out of the second inning. As he tossed over to first, not in time. So Lewis, as we said, was leading off the batting order for majority of the season. It slid down to the number 9 spot here in game 2. Lewis takes a look at that pitch high and inside for a ball. Runner at first. That's Drake Wallace, who just had an RBI single to push across Drew Thomas. A clutch 2-out hit there. Pushes across another insurance run. Of course, those insurance runs being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. As that pitch missing outside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Connor Lewis. So awaiting the 2-0 pitch here from De Leon. And Lewis pops this one up a mile high. Left fielder's going to have to hurry. Comes over and will squeeze it for out number 3. But the Indians get 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. And they lead it 7-2 here after 3 complete. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
There were 4 runs off of 4 hits and 1 error.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that.
Now that's how it's done.
And welcome back. Now let's move to the top of the fourth inning,
Leading off for the
7-2.
Tigers, number 11, Deontay Reeves.
Indians with the lead. That pitch goes for a ball. Excuse me while I update Twitter real quick, folks. And 1-1 now goes the count. Curveball that just fell off the table a bit too soon, gets away in the dirt. And 2-1 now is the count. So awaiting the 2-1 pitch here from King. This one popped out of play for a strike, and 2-2 now is the count. So awaiting the 2-2 offering here from Austin King. Fastball, ooh, just missing low. Good looking pitch to ring him up on that time, but the home plate umpire didn't necessarily agree with that. And now the count goes 3-2. Swinging strike three. Couldn't catch up with the fastball. And that is the 7th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game
number 15,
for Austin King. So now this is going to bring Newcomb to the plate. There's a fastball across for a strike. That pitch up high and inside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. And he's going to be hit by a pitch. Newcomb will wear one for the team and head down to first.
Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Hector Torres.
And that's going to bring up Hector Torres with one out and a runner on first. We do have a final in softball as ICC completes the sophomore day sweep of Coahoma with a 4-1 win in Game 2, the last home game of the year, or at least regular season home game of the year. The ICC softball team will host the opening round best-of-3 series in the playoffs and actually have a chance to either host the state or regional tournament. Of course, if they sweep Meridian on Saturday, that is if we play, then they will host the state tournament. You can't host, I don't believe you can host the state and region tournament in the same year. If they can, then we'll host them both. Hopefully, that is if they advance past that best-of-3 series there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first. There's a rip out to right field. And that's going to be a single there for Torres. Just really weird not to hear any applause, any cheers, anything, especially even from the dugout after a base hit.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Joe G.
And this is going to be Joe G coming to the plate. I have to make sure I pronounce that right because my sister's name is Jody, so I don't want to call him Jody. So it's Joe G. Cal Brown doing a good job on the PA, keeping me straight over there. Actually, I could just let you guys listen to Cal call it over the PA system, doing a great job for the baseball team this year. He was our volunteer intern during football and basketball. What he doesn't realize is he thinks he's graduating this year, but I'm actually going to go into the system and fix his grades and fail him, so he has to come back and help me again. Surprise, Cal. Oh, he says you don't have to do that. It's already like that. I highly doubt it. Cal is he's pretty darn smart. That pitch missing low in the dirt. 1-1 now is the count. Plus, I know your dad. Your dad ain't gonna let you do that. Eddie, get after you. 1-1 is the count. As I guess I need to tell you what's going on in the baseball game instead of the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Swung on and missed for a strike. I tell you who I feel sorry for. Cal's used to me. Was the diamond girl that's sitting up here with me that's had to listen to me all day talk. Surprised she won't go home and be like, I don't want to hear anybody say a word. So 1-2 is the count with 1 out. Runners on first and second. There's a strike him out, and they're going to throw him out? No. But strike 3 was the call on G as he got caught looking for the 8th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. Nearly had a strike him out, throw him out as Neighbors tossed it quickly back to second, but
number 4,
just
Zach
getting back
Gilder.
in time was Newcomb to be able to beat the throw. So now with 2 outs in the inning, this is going to be, is this Gilder at the plate? So Gilder is at the plate, swings and misses on the first pitch. We're in the top of the 4th inning, ICC with a 7-2 lead. Got a couple of home runs in the game, a 3-run shot by LeBryant Sedale. That pitch outside corner clips the plate for strike 2, and also a solo home run by Hunter Neighbors, and it was a triple by Sedale, followed by a double by Medlin to drive in the run. And then an RBI single by Drake Wallace. The Indians getting it done here in game 2. Slow roller. Third baseman's just going to scoop it up and step on the bag for out number 3. Just almost a hand me out there as he scooped it up, stepped on the bag, and got the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and
the inning for the Tigers.
1 left on base.
Off of 1 hit and no errors.
We'll take a break and go to the bottom of the 4th inning. ICC with a 7-2 lead, trying to pull off the sweep of Coahoma here in game 2.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked number 1 in America's community and junior college systems. Number 1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back is number 6, Luke Hobson, now coming into pitch here for the Tigers. He will replace
Now on the mound for the Tigers,
De
number
Leon,
6, Luke Hobson,
who surrendered 7 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. So 6 of those 7 runs earned this afternoon here for De Leon, as he will be taken off the hill and replaced by Luke Hobson. Hobson is 1-0 in the year. He's pitched 13 innings, given up 25 hits, 21 runs. All 21 of those have been earned. 11 walks, 8. Or excuse me, no, that's actually Austin Pace's number. Let's try that again. He's given up 21 hits, 13 runs, 11 of those earns, 12 walks, 16 strikeouts. He's got a 7.62 ERA. And he'll be greeted by the top of the lineup here for the Indians, as scheduled up is Kyle Krieger, Jackson Lancaster, and Hunter Neighbors.
Stomp your feet, stop clapping. Got a real good feeling, something bad about to happen.
Leading off for the Indians, number 15, Kyle Krieger.
Krieger in his last at-bat grounded into a Little Caesars double play. He also had a single and scored a run back in the first inning.
Here we go, Kyle.
So 1 for 2 on the day for Krieger. 7-2 is your score. Game 2, bottom of the 4th, ICC with the lead. Fastball up high for ball 1. So softball gets the sweep. They'll 2 wins away from winning the regular season conference championship and take that number 1 seed into the state tournament. Of course, 1 loss and they'll finish number 2 as they are currently tied, as this is a shot to the left field and goodbye. That one on a rope there, the 3rd home run of the game for the Indians. How you doing? Take a look at that one there. He just reached out and sent that one for a ride on a rope. Well, that's how you welcome somebody to the ball game, as Hobson gets taken for a ride over the wall out in left field. A solo home run there for Kyle Krieger. And that is his 4th of the year. So now up is going to be Jackson Lancaster.
Center fielder, number 10, Jackson Lancaster.
So Hobson going to try to shake this one off. And that first pitch missing outside for a ball. Oh yeah, I got to put that run on the board. 8-2 now is your score. And this one taken for a ride. I don't think it's got enough to get out of the ballpark, though, as the center fielder will go back and make the jumping catch as he runs into the wall. Just did not quite get enough of that one, did Lancaster. That would have been back-to-back jacks for the Indians. And a great play out there in center field by Torres as he had to make the jumping catch.
Hunter Neighbors
crashed into the wall and held on to it there for out number 1. And now up is going to be Hunter Neighbors. Neighbors had a solo home run in his last at bat, also flew out to center field. Curveball, and it's a beauty. Snuck that one in on the back door on Neighbors. 0-1 now is the count. Indians up 8-2. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And a wicked curveball just hangs up high. 1-1 now is the count. Well, one thing the Indians have told people today, don't leave a curveball hanging, because they can tee off on them this afternoon. That pitch missing low. 2-1 now goes the count. 3 home runs here in the second game. And they had a 2-run home run by Drake Wallace in the first game, so 4 long balls this afternoon. Ground ball, third baseman, no, gets past him, and that's going to be a single. I'm sorry about that. I was looking at my stats and did not get to switch quick enough as I was putting my stat sheet down. A tough play there by the third baseman, couldn't get to it. And now up is going to be LeBryant Siddell. Siddell, well, he's got the hardest 2 of a cycle so far. He hits the home run, a 3-run shot in the first, and had a triple in the third. So if he gets a double here, just try to get a single and you hit for the cycle. I don't know that I've seen anybody from ICC hit from the cycle in my 9 years of covering ICC baseball. Is that pitch missing low for a ball? So 1-0 is the count. 1 out and a runner over at first. That's Hunter Neighbors, who just singled. That pitch clips the corner of the plate for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner at first. 1 run is already scored on a solo home run to start the inning by Kyle Krieger. And that pitch missing low for a ball. 2-1 now goes the count. So waiting the 2-1 offering here as Hobson replacing De Leon. There's a shot out to center field. Center fielder is going to come up and squeeze it for the putout. First time that Siddell has been retired here in game 2. Second putout of the inning by the center fielder Torres. on the play. And now this is going to be Justin Medlin coming to the plate.
Now batting the first baseman, number 11, Justin Medlin.
Medlin is 1 for 1 with an RBI double, a run scored. He walked. He was left stranded back in the first inning. Trying to extend the inning here with a 2-out hit. Medlin blistered a double out to right field in his last at bat. Takes a look at that first pitch. Wow. That one was in the other batter's box. Called a strike. What you call an 8-2 strike in late in the evening here. So the umpire strike zone has expanded a little bit. Now this game is kind of shifted in favor of the Indians. There's a ground ball. First baseman, nice stop over there at first. And the put out to end the inning. So the Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 4, and ICC leads it 8-2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
There was 1 run off of 2 hits and no.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
So you took Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest pizza that has the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price and then stuffed more cheese into the crust?
Yep, it's got 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Huh.
They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to their pizza with
Poor
the
guy.
most cheese.
Couldn't wrap his mind around all that cheese.
They added.
Got a large Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest stuffed crust pepperoni pizza for $9.
Pizza.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back as we have a Choice Pawn pitching change here. Entering the contest for the Indians is going to be number 36, Clay Houston. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Clay. He's 1-0 on the year. He has pitched 4 1/3 innings. He's been hampered by an ankle injury for majority of the season. He's given up 7 hits, 5 runs. All 5 of those have been earned. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a 10.38 ERA. So, he's wanting to get a little bit healthy and kind of redeem himself after a little rough start to the season. So now it's going to be the 3, 4, 5 batters due up: Edgeworth, Rodriguez, and Norris
Leading
for
off
the
the
Tigers.
Number 3,
8-2
Marcellus Edston
is the lead. As Houston will start things off here. Fastball that he just could not catch up with. Edgston trying to get up with it that time as Houston just reared back and chunked it. As that one missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here on Edgston. Fastball inside. 2-1 now goes the count. Two balls, 1 strike. Fastball high heat, couldn't catch up with it. 2-2 now goes the count. Two-two pitch on its way. This one popped up out of play. Will stay at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no out as Edgerton is leading us off here in the top of the 5th inning. ICC with an 8-2 lead. That pitch up high, 3-2 now goes the count. So now Houston don't want to lose him here. Waiting the 3-2 offering here from Clay. And this pitch popped up, but it's going to get back and out of play, and we'll stay at 3-2. Well, I think Edgeworth has kind of settled down a little bit. You see a guy like Clay come to the mound, listed at 6'5", 290. A little bit intimidating when you're looking up at a guy. I don't have the listing here on Edgerton, but he is nowhere near 6'4". And that pitch in the dirt gets away, and Edgerton will draw the walk.
Now batting the catcher, number 13, Alexis Rodriguez.
So now Rodriguez will come to the plate. After a leadoff walk to Edgerton. Curveball, boy, that was nasty. Good looking pitch. I think it actually kind of confused the umpire that time, as both he and the batter were trying to bail out on that one. That one had a wicked curve. Ball 1-0 now is the count. Runner at first, no outs. Snap throw to first, not in time. Ball gets away, runner's going to take a peek, but Houston jogs out there, and we'll head back to the mound. Well, for the Indians, you don't want to take your foot off the pedal here. You do want to finish strong and try to grab some momentum, as they've got East Central coming to town on Saturday. A doubleheader there that could really determine how the playoffs shaped up, and that's going to be a hit to the gap, and that could possibly score a run. They're going to hold the runner at third as they quickly relay that one in, and that's going to be a single off the bat of Rodriguez. So the first hit of the day for Rodriguez. And now Coahoma
now batting the third
got something going here.
18, Colton Norris.
Runners on first and third. And looks like we're going to change out a helmet here. No, we're going to have a new runner coming in. New runner into the contest is going to be number 9, Christopher Pittman. Pittman entering to run here for the catcher. The Indians starting to get somebody loose in the bullpen. So with runners on the corners, ICC up 8-2. And this is going to be Norris. Norris singled, advanced on an error, and his last at bat he also walked, but was left stranded back in the first inning. Curveball, grounder, third baseman with it. Snap throw to second, he's got one, can they get two? No, pulls him off the bag. Nearly gets a Little Caesars double play, but instead it's going to be a fielder's choice. 5-4 on the putout of Rodriguez.
Tigers, number 12,
or excuse me, actually that was
Tyler
Pittman
Johnson.
that was retired. And if a good throw, that would have been a double play, as Norris really did not show off a whole lot of speed trotting down to third. Now, I shouldn't say a speed, a sense of urgency. So with one out now, and basically runners still on the corners here for Coahoma. Curveball, a beauty, across for strike one. So 0-1 is the count, one out. Runners on the corners here for the Tigers. We're in the top of the 5th. ICC with an 8-2 lead. Low fastball, couldn't catch up with it that time, as Johnson, the DH, took a healthy chop at that one. Swinging strike two. Ground ball, and it's going to sneak its way through, and that's going to score a run. And so Coahoma gets a run here in the top of the 5th to make it 8-3, an RBI single, and that's good job by Coahoma. If you ever have that leadoff batter get on by a walk, you want to make them pay, and Coahoma did that there for the Indians. And so now this is going to be Reeves, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. Runners on first and second, one out. ICC would love to have another shot at that Little Caesars double play here to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. Curveball across for a strike to Reeves. 8-3 now is your score. Another curveball, that one up high. 1-1 now is the count. Well, somebody's got a nice car parked out there in foul territory. May have never been to the ballpark before because that is right in the hot spot of foul balls. That pitch, fastball in the corner for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. I don't ever like to see anybody's vehicles get hit, but I might laugh a little bit deep inside when they do. 1-2 pitch on its way, and that one's ripped to the gap. And they're going to hold the runners, and now bases are going to be loaded here for the Tigers. So Coahoma not going quietly here into the evening, as that is the third hit of the inning. And now bases are loaded for Coahoma.
Now batting the first baseman, number 15.
And this is going to be Newcomb coming to the plate. So the Indians might be trying to speed up the individual getting loose in the bullpen here, as the Tigers are seeing Clay Houston pretty well. So bases loaded here for the Tigers. They've already got one run on the board, trying to add to that here. Ground ball, and it's going to be fouled just by about 1.5 feet down the third baseline. Strike one. So 0-1 is the count. 1 out. Bases loaded here. Infield at regular depth with a 5-run lead. Curveball, and boy, he was just all kind of confused at that one. When the ball finally got to him, he kind of just took a half-hearted swing, and 0-2 now is the count here on Newcomb. Curveball way ahead of that one. And a good job that time having his head on a swivel by the head coach Lee Hodge just to duck on that one. As the ball goes foul, and 0-2 stays the count here on Newcomb. So the 0-2 pitch coming. And this one's blasted out to the gap, and it's going to score multiple runs. It's going to hit. 1 run will score. They're going to ask 2 runs to score, and that's going to be a double. And then an error is going to allow the 3rd run to score. And then luckily somebody covering home that time. And now here come the Tigers. Little circus in town as the Indians give up a 2-run double to Newcomb that scored 2 runs, and then an error allowed the 3rd run to score. Don't go anywhere, folks. Things getting interesting here in Fulton. That is a hit and an error, and 8-6 now is the score. We're going to have a choice pawn pitching change. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Hey, Mississippi, let's fill the gap. Did you know Mississippi's community and junior colleges fill the gap between high school and skilled careers? Or that community and junior colleges are also a great value to students? It's true. Not only can they get degrees in these fields, they can actually afford the tuition to get them there. And did you realize that 96% of the state's community and junior college students are Mississippians? Not only that, they tend to stay in the state when they're done with college. And the more students that do so, the more skilled workers we'll have to fill the gap for jobs. And the more people to fill the job gaps, the more money stays in the state. Plus, the value of community and junior colleges in Mississippi is unbeatable. For every dollar the state puts into community and junior colleges, it gets $4.86 back, an almost 5-to-1 return on investment. So, come on, Mississippi. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges. And let's fill the gap.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Choice Pawn pitching change here. 4 runs on the board for Coahoma. They make it an 8-6 game as this is Braden Ellis
Hector Torres
coming in to pitch here for the Indians. Ellis is 2-1 in the year with a save. He's pitched 10 innings, 13 hits, 3 runs, all of those earned, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts, 2.70 ERA. There's a ground ball, and it gets past the third baseman. A hard hit, and that's going to go for a hit. As Torres just sitting back on the first pitch. And now there's 5 runs on the board, and we got a 1-run contest here, 8-7. Coach Collier not wasting any time here, coming out to talk to Ellis, and so Ellis is going to give up 1 pitch and a hit, and it's an 8-7 game now. So Ellis not getting much of a leash there as he gives up the hit and the run scores, as that will close the book on Clay Houston, and Ellis doesn't look too happy heading to the dugout, as he will come back in now, and he will actually take over, I believe, at second base, as we have a new pitcher into the contest here, and this is going to be number 15, Kyle Krieger.
Now for the Indians, number 15, Kyle Krieger.
So while Krieger takes his warm-up tosses, we're going to take the break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
Well, things getting interesting here late in Fulton, as Coahoma has pushed across 5 runs to make it an 8-7 contest here in the top of the 5th.
Joe G.
And we go back to the top lineup now. This is going to be G. G had a double, scored on a wild pitch back in the first. He struck out, it popped out to second. Going to lay down a bunt.
Need money now?
Throw overs in time, but gets away, and that's going to be an error. And the runner's going to take a big turn at third. And now the Indians in trouble here. There's only 1 out in the inning. An error on the third baseman, and Coach Collier, boy, I tell you what, his patience has worn thin with anybody on the field right now. Looks like we're going to have a change over at third base. It looks like Russell Bunch will check in and Hayden Palmer will check out. And that is going to be the case there, as we have a Choice Pawn position change, as Bunch will come in here in this situation. He'll take a couple of warm-up tosses, and Palmer will check out after that error there. So Indians trying to find the exit. Coahoma, though, trying to find the rally. Boy, I tell you what, we talked about these games being important, and Coahoma not going away quietly. They fell behind 8-2 after a 4-run third inning. Indians added another run in the 4th, and now they've scored 5 so far here in the top of the 5th. And the tying run now is at third. That runner belonging to Ellis. Fastball high and inside for ball 1. Krieger taking over on the mound.
Come on, Kyle. You go 1 foul.
A bunt that was successful. They were trying to see if they can force the Indians into some trouble. That's what the Indians did with Coahoma in the first game of the day. Coahoma returning serve here in the second.
Yeah.
That pitch up high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count.
Here we go, Kyle. You got
So Gilder at the plate. Fastball jammed him, but he's able to get enough of it to get it out there, and that's going to drop for a hit. And we'll try to score the run, and they will, and we've got a tie ball game. Wow. So an RBI single. King's off the hook, Houston's off the hook, and now Ellis. Well, technically, Ellis can't get a decision in this game because he just allowed the tying run to score.
Number 3, Marquez Edgston.
And now Edgston, who has walked, scored a run, single, was caught trying to steal, and struck out, will come to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on first and second. 8-8 is your score. The Indians trying to get out of this 5th inning, but it's been all Coahoma. Nice pitch there is Edgston, way ahead of that one. And Edgston's the one that got this inning started. He drew a walk and scored a run. Krieger trying to just get the Indians out of this one. This pitch popped up a mile high. Left fielder LeBryant Sedale's going to chase after it. Couldn't get to it as it falls in foul territory for strike 2. And Edgston, will continue to see extra life. Indians still getting someone loose in the bullpen. Looks like that might be Sam Harrington now getting loose for the Indians. So there's only 1 out in the inning. Runners on first and second for Coahoma. They have rallied with 6 runs to tie us at 8-8. That pitch outside corner, not a bad spot to miss after he swung on the first pitch on the outside corner. 1-2 now goes the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second here for the Tigers. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Krieger. His first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. As this is going to be number 9, I believe, Rodriguez. No, this is Pittman.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 9, Chris Pittman.
So Pittman will come to the plate here with 2 outs. The Indians trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. Curveball just missing for ball 1. Fastball couldn't catch up with it. 1-1 now is the count. One pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 2. The Indians need to find the exit here and then see if they can get some bats back in the bottom half of the inning. 8-8 is your score here. Coahoma has scored 6 so far to tie it up at 8. Krieger steps off the mound, looks the runner back to second. 1-2 is the count with 2 outs. That pitch, just missing low. As Pittman didn't really know what he wanted to do on that one and kind of danced around the box, and that one fell off the table a bit too soon. 2-2 now is the count.
Come on, Kyle.
Krieger's got 1 Renaissance Bank strikeout today. Will make it 2. Beautiful curveball that just looped right back down the middle for back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts to end the inning. But the damage has been done. They score 6 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. We've got a tie contest. As 8-8 is your score. We'll let you enjoy a little house music here as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
Need money now? Get a choice pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back. We have a Choice Pawn pitching change. Wyatt Bailey will enter the contest here for Coahoma. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Wyatt Bailey. If I can find him on my pitching sheet, here he is. He's 4-4 on the year with a save. He's pitched 48 1/3 innings, given up 63 hits, 34 runs, 23 of those earned, 9 walks, 46 strikeouts, has a 4.25 ERA. It's your work from Sonic, and be back with more. 8-8 your score here in the bottom of the 5th.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those two guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
Reading off for the Indians, number 8.
And welcome back. As Jacob Hall will replace Drew Thomas in the lineup here. 8-8 is your score after a 6-run top of the 5th. ICC need to pick up some momentum here to see if they can pull off this sweep. They were cruising early, but the Tigers have rallied in a big way here. That fastball at the knees for a strike. Wyatt Bailey now the pitcher on the hill here. Hobson out with a no decision. Curveball hangs up high. 1-1 now is the count. Well, the Indians had some opportunities early to put this game away, did not. And Coahoma took advantage. Hall couldn't catch up with the fastball there. 1-2 now is the count. So Hall at the plate with a 1-2 count, leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Bailey's pitch missing low and outside. 2-2 now is the count. Well, apparently the fans that are here for Coahoma are here in support of Wyatt Bailey. This is the loudest I've heard Coahoma all afternoon. A little flare, and it gets past the first baseman. Nice hit there for Hall. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay as the leadoff single, and now up is going to be Russell Bunch.
For the Indians, number 22, Russell Bunch.
So Bunch will dig in here. The runner at first and no outs. ICC and Coahoma tied at 8. Bunch did not play in the first game. Entered, excuse me, in the previous inning. Shows bunt, lays it down. Only one play, and that's to first, and that's going to be a successful sacrifice bunt there by Russell Bunch to put the runner over in scoring position. Of course, that sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, the oldest organization on campus, Brother Chris Burrows and company. They meet Monday nights at 7:07, Wednesdays at lunch. We have a new runner coming into the game here for the Indians, as this is going to be number 4. That's Trey DeSantis. Trey DeSantis entering to run for Hall over at second. And now this is going to be Drake Wallace coming to the plate. So DeSantis entering to run. 8-8 is your score. 1 out, runner on second here for the Indians. Need to find a way to get this run home. Wallace takes a look at that pitch up high for a ball. So 1-0 is the count. Wallace rips one. This has got a chance. It's to the wall and it's off the glove. That's going to go for an extra base hit. And the run will score for the Indians. Drake Wallace. Well, the ball got on top of the outfielder, so that will go for a double as he did everything he could just to try to get to it. And an RBI double in the Indians.
Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Connor.
Reclaim the lead now, 9-8. Good job by the Indians there, folks. A leadoff single, then a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt by Russell Bunch, followed by a double off the wall by Wallace. And the Indians retake the lead now, 9-8. This is Connor Lewis at the plate. Connor is 0 for 2 on the day. He flew out to left and popped up on a bunt attempt way back in the second inning in foul territory. Lewis couldn't catch up with that inside fastball, and 0-2 now is the count. Right now, if you're Connor Lewis, it's all in your head. Just need to find a way to put the bat on the ball here, as he has hit a bit of a slump here for the Indians, but a guy that can break out of it at any time. Fastball, and that's on the corner for strike 3. Well, when you're slumping at the plate, those outside pitches, when you're hot, they go for a ball. When you're just not as hot, they go for a strike, and that was the case there on Lewis.
Second baseman, number 15, Kyle Krieger.
And now up is Kyle Krieger. He had a solo home run to start the fourth. Takes a look at that first pitch, low and inside for a ball. So the Indians retake the lead, 9-8 off for a RBI double by Drake Wallace, who is at second. That pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. There's 2 outs in the inning. Indians have scratched back in this one, taking 1-run lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th. This pitch fouled back, and we'll stay at 1-2. Krieger can help his own cause here with a base hit, as he is on the hill here for the Indians. Boy, something down to the gap would be big here, as Wallace has got pretty good speed, would be able to score from second. And that time Krieger reaches out and fouls that one off to keep the at-bat alive. Nice poke at it that time by Krieger just to keep the at-bat alive here. 2 outs in the inning. A runner at second. 9-8 is your score. ICC with the lead over Coahoma here in Game 2. They're going to have to earn it today if they get the sweep. They won the first game 12-1. Coahoma battling back with 6 runs in the top of the 5th to tie it at 8. Ground ball, shortstop finds it. Going to have to hurry. Throw across the way is in the dirt, but a nice scoop in time. Beautiful play over there at short by Reeves to make the diving stop, spin around, and throw out Krieger over at first. But the Indians do get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 5, and ICC leads at 9-8. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed. but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back. Now let's move to the top of the 6th inning. ICC gets an RBI double out of Drake Wallace to retake the lead, 9-8.
Colton Norris.
The Indians led as much as 8-2 in the contest at a 6-run top of the 5th inning. Tied us up at 8. And that's where we sit right now. That's a Sonic scoreboard update here in Game 2. Krieger on the hill. Fastball offering to Norris. Swung on and missed for strike 1. That pitch missing outside. 1-1 now goes the count.
Come on, Kyle.
That pitch missing low and outside. 2-1 now is the count here to Norris. Norris had a single, advanced on an error, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run, part of that 6-run 5th inning. He also walked but was left stranded back in the 1st. Big healthy swing there. Ticked it, he said. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs as Norris is leading us off here. This pitch popped up. Trouble. First baseman going back, though, and is going to catch it for the putout. Nicely done over there at first base. I believe that was Medlin. Yes, it was.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 12.
Who made the play.
Tyler Johnson.
For out number 1. That was a tough play for Medlin. He had to quickly run back and kind of backpedal over to get it. So out number 1 now, and this is going to be Johnson, the DH.
Yeah.
That pitch across for a strike. He is 1 of 2 on the day. He, in his first at bat, was catcher interference. He struck out, then he had an RBI single, scored a run. As that pitch missing low for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Fastball popped up. Medlin giving chase, just could not quite get to it. As he ran out of real estate as the ball went into the bullpen over there for Coahoma. Ball in the dirt. 2-2 now is the count. They're going to say went. So a strikeout. 2 on the putout.
Now batting the shortstop, number 11, Deontay Reeves.
And now this will bring up Deontay Reeves. Fastball inside, just missing for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. Curveball outside corner for a strike. 1-1 goes the count. 2 outs, nobody on here. Top of the 6th. ICC with a 9-8 lead. Fastball just missing low. 2-1 now is the count. Krieger working with purpose here in the top of the 6th. Hard hit ground ball. Shortstop has it. Lewis throws over and in time. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. A 3-up, 3-down inning there. Lewis, good job making sure he had the ball. As soon as he had it, threw it over and got the put out. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. ICC looking to add to this 9-8 lead. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set now here for the bottom of the sixth inning.
Leading off for the Indians, number 10. Jackson Lancaster.
Lancaster coming to the plate here for the Indians. He's 0 for 2 in the day with a walk and a run scored. The Indians, boy, they need to pick up some insurance runs here. This has been a wild game, too. ICC picked up the win 12-1 in 5 innings in game 1. It's that pitch outside for a ball from Bailey. This pitch, a flare out to left field. Left fielder will jog over and squeeze it for out number 1. So Lancaster, for the second time today, is retired by the left fielder. And now up is going to be Hunter Neighbors.
And the catcher, number 19, Hunter Neighbors.
So Neighbors, who is 2 for 3 on the day, he had a solo home run back in the 3rd inning. He also had a single but was left stranded in the 4th. Flew out to center field in his first at bat of the day. Curveball is a beauty for a strike. Well, Bailey is doing pretty good keeping these Indian bats quiet. He works with purpose, has a very unique delivery style as he kind of yanks it up to the plate in a hurry as that fastball plates the outside corner. 0-2 now is the count. So he does a really good job of disguising the pitch, so he does not waste any time getting it from his hand to home plate. Fastball popped up right field, but it's going to go in foul territory over into the bullpen, and nothing but a long strike there, so we'll stay at 0-2. So Neighbors trying to spark the Indians' bats here in the bottom of the 6th. Indians lead at 9-8 after a 6-run top of the 5th. Titus at 8. That pitch up high, 1-2 now is the count. So credit to Coahoma after getting run ruled in the first game of the day, 12-1. They came back and ICC jumped out to a commanding 8-2 lead. And that's going to hit Neighbors. Or nope, they're not going to award him the hit batter. They're going to say he stuck his elbow out. Actually, they're going to say it did not hit him. So 2-2 now is the count. Coach Collier wanting to come down and talk to the home plate umpire here. And whatever the home plate umpire's discussion with Coach Collier was satisfying enough, as he will head back to the third base coaching box without much of an argument. So waiting the 2-2 offering here to Neighbors. Fastball, Neighbors fouls it back, but held on to by the catcher for strike 3. Nicely done that time by Bailey to come back and get his second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game.
The left fielder, number 18, LeBryant Siddell.
And with 2 outs in the inning, this is going to be LeBryant Siddell coming to the plate. Siddell had a 3-run home run back in the first, a triple, and scored a run in the 3rd. He flew out to center field in his last at bat. That first pitch missing inside. 4 ball. 1-0 is the count. 2 outs, nobody on here for the Indians. They lead 9-8. Fastball across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. So waiting the 1-1 pitch and return to sender right up the middle. And LeBryant Siddell with his 3rd hit of the day. A clutch hit there for Siddell, and now if he finds a way to get another at bat, he'll be a double away from the cycle.
Now batting the first baseman, number 11, Justin Medlin.
So now this will be Justin Medlin coming to the plate. A 2-out single extends the inning there for LeBryant Siddell. And Medlin trying to keep the inning alive here for the Indians, trying to pick up an insurance run. And there's a ground ball, shortstop, plenty of time. Long throw across the way is in time for the putout, 6-3 to end the inning. So the Indians get 1 run, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll head to the top of the 7th. The Indians 3 outs away from surviving Game 2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. Check out this week's specials.
Wow! Tyson breaded chicken, $2.99 a pack. Bush's Best Baked or Grill and Beans, 2 for $3. And russet potatoes, 5-pound bag, 2 for $4.
At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back now as we head to the top of the 7th inning.
The Tigers, number 15, Matthew Newcomb.
Well, the Indians 3 outs away from finding a way to survive Game 2 here. And whatever I say, they'll survive to earn a sweep. If they do hang on, boy, they have earned it here in Game 2. ICC jumped out to a 8-2 lead before a 6-run top of the 5th. Tied us at 8, and then it was an RBI double by Wallace as this pitch popped up. Left fielder Siddell camps underneath it for the putout. Out number 1. But yes, it was a RBI double by Drake Wallace that put the Indians up 9-8. And now up is trouble in Hector Torres. He is 2 for 2 on the day. A pair of singles and runs scored. He's also walked. So he has been a tough out for the Indians here in Game 2. Well, this is just an old school JUCO battle here. As this pitch popped up, Bunch is going to try to go over, but it's going to run out of territory over there on the third base side of things. So nothing but a strike on that one. Yeah, both teams have 11 hits here in the game. 4 errors by the Indians. As that pitch across for a strike. 0-2 now is the count. There's a ground ball. Second baseman gets to it. Throw across the way is in time. Nicely done over there at second base. I believe that is... No, that's actually Ray Sandroni.
Number 2, Joe G.
So Sandroni in at second base to get the out, and now we go back to the top of the lineup here in G. G reached on an error in his previous at-bat. He's also struck out, popped up to second, and had a double. Advanced on a couple of wild pitches before scoring a run. That pitch at the knee for a strike. Can Krieger come in and pick up the win? He is the 4th Indian to take the hill this evening. Austin King got to start. Was cruising pretty well, left with an 8-2 lead, and saw that evaporate quickly. Ground ball, and it's going to sneak its way through a little seeing eye single that time for G. And so the game will be extended now, as this will be Gilder coming to the plate. Gilder, another tough out for the Indians.
Left fielder, number 4.
He's 2
Zach
for 4.
Gilder.
Advanced on a couple of wild pitches, scored on an error. He has struck out, grounded out over to third, and had an RBI single in his last at bat. The Indians down to their final out. Tying run is at the plate, or excuse me, at first. They go ahead run at the plate, as Gilder that time tried to give the Tigers the lead with one swing of the bat, swung empty. 0-1 is the count. Fastball outside corner missing for a ball, 1-1 now. Goes the count, 2 outs. Tying run is at first, that's G, who had a 2-out single out to left field. And it's going to be a foul ball.
One more, Kyle.
And so now the count goes 1-2.
One more. Here we go.
Good job by the infield umpire to quickly and very clearly shout that out as a foul ball. Home plate umpire followed with his foul call as well. So awaiting the 1-2 pitch. Just missing up and outside. 2-2 now is the count. Krieger thought that was strike 3, but good ball call that time by the home plate umpire. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Awaiting the 2-2 offering. Fastball, strike 3. A very quiet strike 3 call. And Krieger gets his 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. As you saw there, Gilder was not happy with that strike 3 call, but the Indians find a way to survive here in game 2. They win it 9-8. We're going to take a break and come back with the Renaissance Bank post-game report right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. The Indians earned the sweep. Game 1, 12-1 win in 5 innings. Game 2, a 9-8 victory over the Tigers. Back with the post-game report right after this.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to the Renaissance Bank postgame report. ICC earns the sweep 9-8 with the game 2 win here. Has a lot of discussion going on behind home plate between the Coahoma coaches and ICC coaches. Not really sure what's going on there, and nothing heated as well. It's a pleasant exchange between coaches. As ICC picks up the 9-8 win here in game 2. Here's your final line for the Indians. 9 runs, 11 hits, 4 errors. That's going to be something Coach Collier is not going to be happy about. And then it was 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 errors for Coahoma. ICC improves to 25-9 on the year. More importantly, 11-7 in conference play. Coahoma falls to 19-7, 7-11 in conference play. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats. Of course, these stats being brought to you by Sonic. Here in about an hour, you get half-price shakes after 8 here at the Sonic in Fulton. It's going to be on. Lee is happy. And Cal wants to know when the next 50-cent corn dog day is. I don't know, but as soon as you know, you can follow us on Twitter and we'll tweet it out. So here you go. G was 2 for 5 on the day with a double, and a single, a run score. He also struck out and reached on an error. Gilder was 2 of 5. He had a pair of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. 2 strikeouts. Edgston was 1 for 3 on the day. He had a single, a walk, scored a run, and a pair of strikeouts. Rodriguez was 1 for 3 on the day with a pair of strikeouts and a single. And then it was number 9, Pittman, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Norris was 1 for 3. He had a single, advanced on an error, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run, and he also walked. Johnson was 1 for 3 on the day, had an RBI single and a run scored, a pair of strikeouts. He also was put on after catcher interference on the play. Reeves was 1 of 4. He had a single, scored a run on an error, and he had a pair of strikeouts. Newcomb was 1 for 3 on the day. He had an a 2-run double, scored a run, was also hit by a pitch. Torres was 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of singles, a run scored, and a walk. He also grounded out to Sandroni, who came in there late in the contest for the first out in the 7th. For ICC, it was Kyle Krieger. He was 1 of 4 with a pair of hits. He had a single and a run scored and a solo home run. Back in the 4th, he also hit into a Little Caesars double play. Jackson Lancaster 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Hunter Neighbors was 2 for 4 with a home run, a single, and a strikeout. LeBryant Siddell, man, he was a double away from the cycle. He had a home run that drove in 3 runs. He had a triple, scored a run. He also had a single, flew out to center. That's where the double could have come into play. Justin Bedlin was 1 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI double, scored a run. He also walked. Drew Thomas was 0 for 2 on the day. He did reach on an error, scored a run. Jacob Hall was 1 for 1, and his runner was Trey DeSantis, came in and scored a run for the Indians. It proved to be the game-winning run there for ICC. Drake Wallace was 2 for 2, had a RBI single and an RBI double, none bigger than that double there back in the bottom of the 6th inning to give the Indians that 9-8 lead. It came with 1 out in the inning. And then Connor Lewis 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Let's go ahead and name Drake Wallace our, hold on 1 second, filling out my sheet here. We're going to name him our star of the game, as the Indians pick up the sweep here with a 9-8 win in Game 2. They won Game 1 by the final score of 12-1. It's the Legends Sports Grill Legend of the Game. I forgot who it was there for a second, folks. It's been a long day. So that's going to do it. ICC improves to 25-9, 11-7 in conference play. They're keeping their playoff hopes alive. A big sweep here for the Indians this afternoon. Of course, their next game scheduled for Saturday. Weather pending on that one. You can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC to see if there's any changes. And then the Indians, they'll finish up the season with 4 straight road games in conference play. So that's the reason why today's sweep was a little bit bigger than people think here with this win in Game 2. So that's going to do it. For Lee Adams, Cal Brown, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.